Welcome to the Vault Excel. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to send a shout out to True Media. He's a YouTuber. He has a lot of wisdom for a young man. Please check out his network. I like his content. I watched a video today about people, fake people, which we got a lot of them, young, old, and I guess to some degree we all could be judged accordingly, but I like his content. I like the wisdom that he brings pertaining to, everyday subject matters, pertaining to, being alone. Hey, sometimes it's best to be alone. You don't need to be running in lots of a heavy circle of people. You need to know your friends, your associates, and also the world we live in today. People are different, act different. I was in a pissy mood yesterday, and I can relate to some of the things he was saying in the video I watched today pertaining to the way people act, the way they carry themselves, no manners, no boundaries. And that's why I was wilding out yesterday here at the apartment, because something really got under my skin and I had to give somebody the business. And I tell myself, I don't like being that way, you know what I'm saying? Because I shouldn't have to say anything. But we live in a world where people don't have boundaries, don't have respect. And like I told somebody, tell your clients your apartment number, because your name ain't on this lease, and you don't stay here and they don't stay here. I'm tired of, running, jumping up, answering the door. I wasn't even gonna tell it on live, but I'm gonna tell it because I told myself I want to free myself before I have this surgery tomorrow. I want to clear my throat, so I'm clearing my throat. And I'm just, I was on one yesterday. It just, you get to a point where you get tired, and that's where I'm at. And I'm gonna things that's on my mind, content I'm seeing on the YouTube, and just their everyday, situations going on with us as people in society. I'm going to throw some things out from another young man. He's a YouTuber, and I saw his content, and I want to talk about the struggles he's having right now that's affecting many people. So this is going to be an all-out live. I'll be over here. So I'm going to be on 15th Street, then I'm going to go over here to 115th Street while I'm on this live. Thank you for the prayers, the kind words. Tomorrow, I will be going under the knife, God willing. Everything goes okay. The surgeon, she knows what she's doing, and God favors me. But I want to thank you all for the kind words, encouragement. I thank you. I appreciate it. And once again, if you'd like to donate to the network, because I won't be on for a while, Cash App, $ Big Angie 129. Thank you so much. Once again, shout out to True Media. Thank you, sweetheart, for your wisdom. You got a good head on your shoulders. Keep bringing us the content. Check out this network, everybody. All right, we getting ready to go to Alabama. Perfect topic. Well, it's probably not a perfect topic because it's Sunday. And if you believe in God and you're a Christian, this ain't the best Christian story, but we're all flawed. We all make mistakes. But this is a doozy. This ain't to me your typical mistake, because it's a bad situation, okay? Many people are leaving their children alone at home. Many people leave their children with the wrong type of people. They know they shouldn't leave in the custody of their children. But this Caucasian man, who was an associate pastor of a Baptist church down in Dothan, Alabama, decided to leave his preschooler in the car. Now, the article I brought you the other day said the child was 5. But this article is saying under the age of 5. So if there's another correction, I'll bring it. I'll probably have to put a correction on that last video. Let's show you who Mr. Trey Gibson is, okay? Trey Gibson, the fun-loving associate pastor of Families at First Baptist Church of Dothan, Alabama, has been fired following his arrest for leaving one of his preschool-age children alone in a vehicle while he drank and dined for hours in a bar and restaurant. Eyewitnesses told Dothan police that Gibson, a married father of 2, left his child, who was younger than 5, in his SUV while he drank at a bar last Saturday into early Sunday, according to News 4. After leaving the bar, Gibson drove across the parking lot to a 24-hour restaurant and left the child alone across the parking lot. So that means he wasn't even in eye view to look out to see the child, to see somebody's tampering with the car, the child's getting out of the car. You understand what I'm saying. Lieutenant Scott Owens of the Dothan Police Department told USA Today that a concerned patron told police that a child was left unattended in a vehicle. When officers arrived, people directed them to a parking lot where they found the vehicle with the child inside, unattended, and ID'd Gibson as the owner of the vehicle and the child's family member, Owens said. Gibson was taken into custody, pretty highly intoxicated, according to Owens, and he was charged with endangering the welfare of a child, which is a misdemeanor, which, hell no, it should be a felony. In a statement to News 4, officials at First Baptist Church of Dothan confirmed he had been fired, while noting this incident occurred on the staff member's personal time and in no way involved any of the students or children who participate in our student ministry. Gibson's child was examined by paramedics and was found to be unharmed. The child remained in the custody of the Alabama Department of Human Resources until other family members arrived on the scene. Who was the person that came and got the child? I'm curious. First Baptist Church of Dothan has scrubbed Gibson from their website, removed most mentions of him on their social media. The church revealed in a Facebook post spotlighting Gibson in 2022 that he had joined the church in March of 2020. Prior to that, he served at First Baptist Church, New Orleans, for 4 years as a student minister. Trey loves traveling to new places, trying new foods, especially desserts, coffee shops, wedding receptions, mainly the dance floor, hanging with my family, and long afternoon naps on a weekend, the post said. Well, you would need long naps if you like to get crunk and drunk. I said that. Shut your mouth. Nah, Angie, that's not nice. Hey, I don't know why he needs long afternoon naps. I'm just saying. First Baptist Church of Dothan also noted that Gibson had been a member of the all-male Mardi Gras dance group, the 610 Stompers, since 2017. So he likes to stomp it out. So he likes to eat desserts, try new foods, take long naps, and get jiggy with it. That's what he was doing in that restaurant while that baby was across the street in a parking lot in a car. 80-something degrees, don't matter. They don't tell us if the windows were up, down, cracked, car running. I haven't heard none of that. Don't matter. Alabama's hot. Come on now. They danced miles and miles of parade routes and special events, several NBA and NFL halftime shows, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade to church. No, see, I didn't hear none of this in the last article. The dance group, which was formed in New Orleans 2009, explains on its website that its members are ordinary men with extraordinary moves. We have evolved and grown into a 100-man strong all-male dance group whose bold mission is to return the ordinary man to the glory of the dance. Men from their 20s to their 80s now proudly call themselves the 610 Stompers, drawn from all walks of life from across the country to group notes. So it's a Christian dance group, I guess. While we come from many places, New Orleans is our birthplace and will always be our home. Only here could we create and nurture and grow the singular brand of entertainment we bring to the masses. As diverse as we are, we each share a passion for dance that fires when we see the faces of our fans light up as we dance by. Help keep the Christian Post free for all. Make a donation to the Christian Post. Join over 450,000 other Christian Post readers to get the top stories daily, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I don't even know why all that's on here under this article. Because he has a child endangerment charge. So nobody really cares that he's a part of a 610 Stompers or any other dance group. Why you leave that baby in that car? Ding. Mr. Gibson. All right, everybody. Mr. Gibson, do you have a drinking problem? Number one. Number two, have you left your children unattended before at the house or in any other establishment or car or vehicle before? Who is the primary custodian of his two children? Is he married? Let me go back, because sometimes I forget what I read. So let me go back. Married, father of two, left a child younger than 5, boy or girl, don't matter, but throw it out there anyway. Once again, is this man an alcoholic? Number 2, has he done this before? Who's the primary custodian? Yeah, I'm saying it, although he's married, because that doesn't mean anything. Because everything's about what the reporter reports and what they get. So, does the mom and the dad both live in the house with the 2 children? Do they have a real relationship? Yeah, I'm going to ask all of that. Because you don't know what the hell be going on. Trey Gibson, what the hell's going on with you? You now no longer have a job with the church. Jobs are hard to come by, okay? You probably had another full-time job somewhere else. I won't doubt it. Because a lot of pastors, ministers, associate pastors, they do have full-time jobs as well. Mr. Gibson, do you have another job besides the job you just got fired from as associate pastor? What was that job? Do you currently have a job, sir, besides the associate pastor job that you damn lost? What the hell is wrong with you? You know not to leave that baby in the car while you go into the restaurant to drink. It'd be wrong if you just went in there and was just eating food and left your child in the damn car. And then it's in the wee hours because it went from Saturday night into Sunday morning. Where was the mother? Where was the mother? Mommy, where were you? Who was the person that took the child from CPS, picked the child up from CPS? See, I would be leery to give the child to anybody. You know, Queen, I keep it real. Because it's like I said, you don't really know what the hell is going on. And this is a story where you definitely don't know what's going on because you're talking about somebody that's of the Christian faith, working with children, working in the church, drinking at a bar, leaving a child unattended across the street in a parking lot. God forbid, the child got out of the car. Somebody looked in, saw the child, took the child, did some hanky-panky with the child. While you sitting up here hee-hawing it up in a bar, tasting desserts and mimosas or whatever the hell you was on. Come on, dude, you know better. Come on. Just stop this nonsense now. So that's why I have to ask all the questions. Is this man an alcoholic? If he's an alcoholic, how long has he been an alcoholic? What is his age? Who had the other child? Ding, ding, ding. I'm woke. Where was your other child? Hello, everybody in the chat. Who had your other child? Where was the mother while you had this kid in the wee hours? Did the mother work? Nursing job? She a doctor? Does she have a job that requires her to be out? Second, third shift? I'm curious. Because if you have 2 children, I have to ask the obvious question, where was the other child? Where is the mother? Since you're married, Mommy, where were you? Where was the other child? Who's the person that picked up the child from CPS? CPS, you might need to go tap on their door and do a full home visit, because you'd be a fool if you don't. You'd be a fool if you don't. You need to go in their house and check all corridors, crevices, attics, basements. You all see where I'm going. Because I believe there's more to this story, because there always is. This man has probably been doing this. 2 children, they want to be bothered. Didn't want to hear a child's mouth, didn't want to hear a child crying. He didn't even have the decency to take the child in the damn restaurant because he knew he was going to get crunk, and he knew somebody would probably start talking. Okay, sir, you had too much to drink. You got a baby with you. Ding, ding. I'm woke. A brother knew exactly what he was doing. I'll go in a restaurant that serves alcohol, but I ain't taking this kid in there because I know I'm going to get crunk, and somebody going to notice I'm crunk, and they going to probably call and be like, hey, there's a guy in here. He had 6, 7, 8 drinks. He's slurring his speech. He got a baby in a car seat, booster seat, high chair in here. He been doing this. If he ain't been doing it, then he got what? Something on his mind. Stress. Sir, is your life stressful? Marital problems? Something's going on. What's going on, Trey? What the matter with it? I can't with these heathens. We all make mistakes, but baby, Most people have sense enough. They would have left the child at the house before leaving them in the car and going getting drunk. Hell, why don't you just go to a regular bar? What's the difference? Restaurant with a bar versus a bar. And then you go park across the street as if cars don't make their way in parking lots by humans. The hell is wrong with you? Get it together, okay? Because you are now messed up your life. And we know you can be redeemed because you're a child of God. You're probably going to go to Facebook and tell everybody to forgive you. Ask the Lord to forgive you. But what you need to assess, do you have a drinking problem? That's your first problem. Because drinking leads to ratchet behavior. Everybody knows this. So you're not worried about the child, the wife, the light bill, car note, mortgage. You want to get drunk. So then we have to go in the building to be, hell, are you paying your bills? Do you make enough money to eat? Take care of these 2 children? Do you have marital problems? I say he's got all of this going on. Because see, one thing begets another. You start off with problems, which lead you to drink, get high, okay? Now you got a new problem, which is drinking and getting high. Now everything else is on the back burner, okay? So who knows how this fiasco is really running down in Dothan, Alabama, which led him to be sitting up in this bar restaurant drinking with his child in an SUV across the street. But the judge don't care because you know better. He'll probably get a slap on the wrist if he doesn't have a criminal background. They'll send him to AA or wherever. He'll take the little classes, take some parenting classes, and then we'll wait to hear another crazy story. Hopefully we won't be hearing the whole damn kid is missing. Or the other one is missing. Or they fell down a flight of stairs, got a broke arm. You see where I'm going. Because there's something ain't right here. Something is not right. I'm surely going to help you. Hold on just a second. Did I help you out? Okay. Trey, you need to get it together. I don't know what your personal problems are. I don't know if your wife got problems, if both of you got drinking problems, substance abuse, mental problems, but you need to seek help. You need to go back to that church and seek some help from the church. If you can't get it from there, then seek another mental professional. But this ain't gonna work, bro. Because now you're causing yourself to have a new problem, which is dealing with CPS. And let me tell you, you don't want them in your business. They're the last people you want in your business. But you put them in your business when you left your child in the car. So as I said before, that leads me to wonder what else you got going on, you and your wife, at your domain. Because you're not sitting in that bar drinking for no reason. There's always a reason for the drinking. Drinking can start casually, but a lot of times, heavy drinking, alcoholism comes from some type of traumatic experience. And I don't know what you've been through and what you're going through, but something had you in that bar late at night into the early morning drinking, caring for a kid that you left in the damn car. Let's talk about this case out of Ohio that I stumbled across. We're all over the place today, everybody, so bear with me. We just giving the Sunday business today. Welcome to the Vault Excel. I saw this on YouTube the other day. Hold on. Everybody's busy, doing too much. As the young folks like to say, you're doing too much. See if they got a picture of her. We're not going to go to the state of Ohio. I don't see her picture. Canton, Ohio. I saw her picture earlier. This woman gets her kids miss hundreds of hours of school. She gets jail time. Diamond Street is her name. Sentenced to 10 days of jail for chronic truancy. Two of Street's other children, ages 6 and 7, both missed 112 hours of class. Stark County Prosecutor's Office was finally called about the issue after several failed attempts from the school district to contact Street and help her. We have a specific prosecutor signed that all she does is handle truancy. Interesting. Prosecuting attorney Kyle Stone told WOIO. Even so, our family court is still willing to work with parents. However, if they are unwilling to put in the effort or attend necessary meetings, the situation may end up like this case. Stone also told WOIO this is one of the more extreme truancy cases he's seen. 3 children, 6 and 7, also missed 112 hours of class. Diamond, what's your problem? What is your problem? Why your children missing school? What's the problem? You can't get up? Too sleepy? Do you have a substance abuse problem? Are you on alcohol, drugs? I'm just curious. She's got an interesting name, Diamond Street. You have to be meticulous about what you type in these search engines. But they ain't got no picture of her. Sorry it's taking so long. I can't get a photo. Oh, Lordy. You can't see her because I couldn't find a picture. Hold on.
Here told me that 3 of that mom's children missed several hours of school this past year. One child didn't show up for almost an entire month. Now Diamond Street is spending the next 10 days in jail. Stark County prosecuting attorney Kyle Stone says a Canton mother, Diamond Street, was sentenced to 10 days in jail on Tuesday. The reason? Chronic truancy. According to Stone, in just 6 months of school this year, Diamond's 13-year-old missed 200 hours of class, about a month's worth of school. Her 7-year-old and 6-year-old each missed 112 hours. The absences were reported by an attendance officer with the Canton School District. And after several failed attempts to contact Diamond and assist her, the prosecutor's office was called.
And we have a specific prosecutor assigned that all she does is truancy. Even throughout our family court is still.
Oops, sorry about that. Had an ad come up.
Willing to work with the parent. But if they're not willing to put in the work and they're not willing to appear and to do the things that's necessary, it'll end up, like this case where, you get 10 days in jail.
The prosecutor's office told me that truancy is something that they take extremely seriously here in Stark County. Now, this is one of the more extreme cases he has ever seen. I did ask him who is watching after those children while their mom is in jail. He said another family is taking care of them. In Canton, Brittany Weir, 19 News. And we have a poll on Cleveland19.com. Should a parent be sent to jail for a child missing school? You can see the results of that poll right now. Goal this year, Diamond's 13-year-old.
A better picture. Diamond Street. What a name. Diamond, what is your problem?
100 hours of class, about a month's worth of school.
Oh, Lord. Well, three kids, 13, 6, 7. Diamond, what's the problem? You just don't give a fuck? Say the hell with it, I don't care. Every jurisdiction has different laws pertaining to everything. Truancy is one of them. Some states probably have a law that says, I will send you to jail if your child misses school. I think that's why a lot of people like to use the excuse, I want to homeschool, because they're lazy. They want to talk about what the kids ain't getting in public schools. Well, we don't know what your child getting at your house. How about that? There's nobody there to regulate that your child is getting the correct curriculum. Are you even certified to school your child? That's a whole other subject too, okay? But that's an easy way to get out of sending your kids to school because you're lazy and you're honoring and you don't want your kid to have the enjoyment of meeting other students and having fun and being a part of school life. That's what school is for, whether it's public, private, whatever. It's for children to learn, navigate, be in the company of other children, learn different backgrounds, color, creeds, all of that. You can't learn that from somebody talking to you. Oh, well, he's Hispanic, he's white, he's black, he's from over here, he's on a reservation. They can't learn that. They can't learn that by you just talking. They won't see it. Children are visual creatures. They have to touch, see, feel. Okay? Let me see. Can't get that at home. You're entitled to do whatever you want with your children. You want to teach them at home. You want to send them to public school, whatever. But I think children need to be able to interact with other children, and you can't get that at home. That's my public opinion. As for this heifer here, I don't know what the hell wrong with her. Probably just lazy, honoring, probably getting high, using drugs, drinking, just don't care. Now, flip side of this, somebody's going to say, well, why put her in jail? Who's going to watch her children? Well, you don't know that they're being watched while they're at home. Bingo card. Woo! Come on with it, Queen. You know I think of everything. Who says they're being watched while they're at home? See, you don't really know where they are. What did I tell you? You don't know these people. Just like Mr. Trey Gibson, you don't know what the hell's going on with him and his wife down there in Alabama, for him to be in that bar drinking. You don't know this sister here. You don't know what's going on in her house. Are they being fed? Are they being clothed? Heat, water, air, bills paid? Do they have beds to sleep in? Clean linen? Ding, ding, ding. I ask everything. because everything matters. That door is shut to that house, you don't know what the hell's going on up in there. Who all lives there? Like I said, do they got air conditioning, food, clothes? Why, Diamond, are you not getting up to put your kids in school? School's out now, it's summertime. So what the children doing? Does she work? Woo! Come on with it, Queen. Does she go to school? What the hell's going on? Late night job? Falling asleep when she get home? Can't get up? Too tired to get up? Somebody come in here and say, well, you shouldn't judge. Maybe she works a third shift. She gets home at 7. She just falls straight asleep. Well, then that means she need to be talking to her 13-year-old and say, hey, I need you to help mommy get the children ready for school. Yes, it's a big job for some children, but it's been going on for centuries. Children helping their parents cook, clean, and also aid young children. Has she had any other CPS reports of other things such as child abuse, neglect, leaving a child in an SUV while she goes drinking at a bar like Mr. Gibson? Mr. Gibson. You don't know people. And you don't tell her what's going on with this lady. 3 children, 13, 6, and 7. All 3 have missed an extensive amount of classes. And at 6 and 7, you need to be in school. Hell, 13, he needs to be in school too. So what are her children doing? Where are they? Hell, for all I know, they running around the streets. I don't know. You got 6 and 7-year-olds, they know how to open a door, go outside, play, run the street, and you know somebody knows it. Looking out their window and they're like, wait a minute. Shouldn't those kids be in school? Did anybody ever call the school police to say, hey, this lady's not sending her kids to school? That's why I asked all the questions. Any CPS reports from other people, neighbors, friends, family of child abuse, neglect, not being properly fed, clothed, mother leaving them alone unattended? So you gotta ask, is the mother actually in the house morning, noon, and night? Does she work? When does she go to work? Where does she work? Who's keeping the kids if she has a job or going to school? So you got to ask all those questions because it's so easy to say this or that. I don't know what her problem is. I just know what the news reported. The school says, we've tried reaching her. She don't reply. So we called the law. Isn't it amazing how when you call the police, people respond, shut your mouth. Oh, I ain't got no choice now. I'm in handcuffs. So what she tell the judge when she went to court? I'm sorry, I apologize. I can't get up. I'm sleepy, I'm tired, I'm on meth, I'm on heroin, I'm on fentanyl. I work too long, I'm sick, I got lupus, I got cancer. What is it? What she tell the judge? I'm just saying. I'm just curious. Diamond, what did you tell the judge? You can't get up, you're on pills, you got sleep apnea, what? I'm sick of folks. Like True Media said, check out his network. Young black man, he's a YouTuber, just found him. I like his style. Lord have mercy, I like his style. People just don't care. Hey, Flora. People just don't care. People don't have boundaries, they don't have respect. There's no self-respect. You always got to remember that when you see people wilding out, doing crazy stuff, we all guilty of saying stuff. We're human. But, damn, get it together. And you keep seeing this more and more. It don't matter the age, it don't matter the background, black, white. People are just ignorant. They don't care about nothing. She don't care about herself. Because if it's not that she's sickly with cancer, some debilitating disease, for her to get her lazy butt up and get her kids ready, this ain't gonna fly with no judge, no CPS supervisor, worker. Ma'am, you got to get up and put your kids in school. It's the law here where you live. Your kids gotta go to school, or you gonna go to jail and or lose your children. All of the above. It is what it is. You don't have to like it, but your children need to go to school. Children need an education. That's just the bottom line. Who wants a dodo bird running out here? We got enough dodo birds out here already. Hell, you got one sitting in the Oval Office. I said that, get mad, I don't care. Enough of this foolishness. Children need an education. And you are not willing to get your children up, bathe, clean, eat breakfast, you got a problem. And the problem is, why you got all these children? Yeah, I said that. Let's talk about it. Because sometimes it's easy for us to judge things, such as all this craziness going on in the world right now. Things are expensive, hard to live, people getting fired, laid off. This man up in the White House wanting HUD to be cut off after 2 years, people with vouchers, which is the stupidest thing I ever heard. Where the hell they gonna live? They gonna be homeless with their children. Then what about the other people that live in HUD apartments? What you gonna do about them, Mr. President? Because they're elderly, handicapped, regular people. Where are they gonna go stay? Because if you're gonna cut off the people with vouchers, that means you're going to cut off the people that don't have vouchers and live in HUD apartments. Yeah, I'm going there today. What you gonna do about them? Raise it to market rent. You gotta pay this. You can't afford it. Tough. You only draw $700 a month on a check. The rent's $912, $930. Well, you better go find your $200 something. Get it out the mud. I said we're gonna have more problems than $15 eggs, $4 gas. You gonna have a lot of folks walking around, boom, 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 get on the ground. Give me your pocketbook. Yeah, I said that. Because I live in the real world. You're going to have more women committing crimes to survive, to eat, feed the children. The next thing you know, they'll be out here carrying guns, robbing, stealing, and then next thing you know, they'll be popping pills, this and that, because they can't cope, need something to calm them down, get on the bottle, get on the sauce. Now we got us a new problem. Checkmate. It's a wicked world we're in. It's wicked. Survival of the fittest. There's no care about people. And this country getting ready to sink. I'm telling you that now. It's sinking sand. Because when you cannot afford the basic necessities in life, you become depressed. You got people complaining, such as your little ones. I need new shoes, I need a sweater, I need a coat, I need this, I want to play soccer, blah, blah, blah. Well, you can't. Give them nothing. You ain't got nothing to give. That's why I say you need to think before having children. People don't think. You know you don't got no patience. You don't need a kid. You don't need a dog. You don't need a cat. You don't need a gerbil. You don't need a squirrel. Come on, we're going to keep it real. We feel sorry for people with kids. Bad things happen. Then we say, oh, I feel sorry. How's she going to feed them? How they going to clothe them? Well, I also got to remember, I didn't tell you to open your legs either. Thank you, Terry. Hello, Terry. I didn't tell you to open your legs. Wait, who told you to open your legs? So we got to think. Everything has a start. Fire, flood, whatever goes on. You ain't making enough money. You don't got the fortitude to make a lot of money. That's still not our problem, but then some of us will still feel bad. Man, I feel bad. She got 3 kids. She's struggling. She's really trying. But then the flip side is, I didn't tell you to get pregnant 3 times. I didn't tell you to go out here and find a no good motherfucker to lay with. Yeah, we're going to keep it real. It's Sunday. We're going to keep it real. We're going to have grown folk church. The kind of church that you don't get because the preacher ain't supposed to be cussing. Well, this is another kind of church. We got to start thinking. Because in the end, your children didn't ask to be here. Okay, we're going to keep it real. You didn't ask to be here. I didn't ask to be here. I didn't choose my mom and daddy. You sure didn't choose your mom and daddy, but you're here. And you work with what you got, how you talk, all of that. That's what forms your identity. And that's what people don't understand about having children. They are little vessels with tentacles, and they are sucking up everything. They're sponges. And they suck up what they see, what they hear. So they look at TV. Woo, look at them shoes. Oh, I like them shoes. Oh, but they're $250. Mama, can I have them shoes? I ain't got it. Dang. Robbie, he got $250 pair of shoes. Sheila, she got $250 pair of shoes. I like that brand. Why I can't have them? I said I ain't got no money. Shut up. Now the kid's feeling some type of way. He or she's in their feelings. See where I'm going with this? Because you lead by example. We didn't ask to be here. We didn't choose our circumstances, but we're here. And that's what you dodo birds need to understand about children. They look at stuff, they mimic stuff, they want to look like the people on TV, the videos. It's just life. We did it, we were children. I looked at the videos growing up, Friday night, Saturday night videos. I like the pretty hair, curly hair, straight hair, blonde hair, whatever. I want to look like her. And little did I know, she want to look like somebody else. Don't you get it? That's why you got to think. We don't ask to be here. We're brought here. So you got to think about that when you're out here making children. They are vessels. And you ought to be guiding these vessels. And maybe you don't know what the fuck you're doing. That's okay. But get help. One child that ain't working, use birth control. No more babies. No more nothing. Same thing with this mother. You got 3 kids and you ain't sending them to school. Why? So you want your kids to be acting stupid out here. Because that's how they're going to act. Because I'm not going to sit here and think these kids are getting what they need from her. I'm just going to go out on a limb. Probably not. And for all I know, they're not eating. They're not sleeping. They're walking around like little zombies. Doing whatever. Probably going to neighbors' houses, begging for food. Might be out here stealing out the stores. Who the hell knows? And I ain't here to say that they ain't good kids. All I'm saying is, if they're not going to school, they're not getting what they need. So down the street, get off your ass and take care of them 3 children. You can't take care of them? Fine. Then find somebody who can. And then that's also a problem, because we don't know if the next person step in, they gonna do a damn good job. So now we starting the cycle all back over again. All this is depressing. I hate hearing stories about children because I've been a child. You've been a child. And everybody had a different walk, background. Some of us were treated well, some of us were not. And then we have to carry that SHIT with us into adulthood. And we're all screwed up, jacked up, trying to decide, how am I gonna live? How am I gonna make it? Right, I wanna look like him, I wanna look like her. Hey, yeah, the grass is green over there, so we think. But then we have to check ourselves. Like yesterday, my topic number 3. I was cranky yesterday, pissed off, bad mood. As I told you all, my tolerance level is just really, really low. I'm just irritated lately. Just a lot on my mind. A lot of stuff I've been dealing with lately with my health. And then dealing with these stupid ass, ghetto ass neighbors. I'm just fed up. Fed up, tired. And then to calm myself, I said, I'm gonna go to YouTube. And it works every time. God said, I know you're not feeling good, and I know you're frustrated, but I'm going to give you a reason to be humble, and I'm going to try not to get emotional. I stumbled across this young black guy's YouTube channel yesterday, and it gave me pause, of course, while I was in my pissy mood. He's living in a storage unit. Don't know how he became homeless. He works a fast food job. He needs more hours. Doing what he has to do to survive. Don't know his background, don't know his story. but I'm going to watch his network and maybe I'll learn a little bit about it. The point I'm trying to make is, even in your worst moment of feeling mad, angry, shame, you're not where you want to be, you're not living your best life, you thought you'd be somewhere else, which I watched a white lady's video about that yesterday, being older, not being where you want to be, not being happy, all of that. Tie all that in with this too. There's somebody worse off than you. And naturally, when you're suffering or you're having pity on yourself, whatever your situation is, you ain't worried about nobody else. Why would you? Why I'm thinking about you, what you going through? I ain't feeling good. You ain't worried about what you got going on. I ain't thinking about you being homeless. You just got kicked out. You just lost your job. What do I care? Not being mean, but just saying, when you feel bad, you ain't thinking about nobody else. You're thinking about, shit, what I'm going through. So looking at this young black guy walk through the storage unit, spin his little story, it gave me pause. That could be you. That could be you working a fast food restaurant, unhappy, not getting enough hours, and sleeping in a storage unit. Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much. Thanks for the donation, baby. That could be you. Homeless. Sleeping in a storage unit. And we have a lot of people who are now homeless because of what I was talking about in my shorts pertaining to our national government and the high cost of living. And in Washington don't know what the fuck they're doing as far as HUD and Section 8. Because as I said, if you cut off one person, you might as well cut off all the other people who are also on HUD. And then now you have a homeless problem that you already got, which makes no sense to push people to be homeless when you got folks homeless, like this guy sleeping in a damn storage unit. Now, a lot of people are probably homeless because of stuff they've done wrong, not paying their bills, trying to live like the Joneses, mismanagement, various reasons. All I'm saying is, there, however he got there. And a lot of people are in the same boat. They're sleeping in their cars, RVs, SUVs. Another black lady who I listen to on YouTube. Her story is really wicked to me. And I may seem judgmental, but I judge life according to how I've lived and my experience. That's all I can judge life on. She has moved across the country in a little Nissan SUV with a teenage boy who's about 17. Now, the father lives on the West Coast, California, where she's supposed to be trying to go. The father just said, just get here however you can. Very dangerous. Traveling across from Arkansas to California, first you don't know if your car gonna make it. Your car break down, where you gonna sleep? You ain't got no job. You got limited funds. You're banking on this little box, like what I'm talking through, to make your money. And this can change. I've lost 20-some subscribers in a week, all because what? I'm talking about Donald Trump. I don't like him. So you gonna unsubscribe? Okay, cool. But guess what? This fat belly's still full. Exactly. And as I said during the live, I wouldn't be my authentic self if I'm going to pretend I like him to please you. Is Donald Trump going to pay that doctor bill tomorrow at the hospital when I have surgery? Is he going to pay for anything thereafter? He going to pay for these 2 new knees I need? See, that's the shit I'm talking about. And that's what some of you need to understand. Are you going to pay for that surgery tomorrow? Are you going to pay for the aftercare, the meds? No, you're not. So if I don't like somebody, that's my choice. Because you're not feeding me. You don't take care of me. You don't help me. So I'm entitled as a human to like who I like and don't like. This woman is banking off this YouTube money. And what she don't understand, because she gonna surely learn, eventually the same people following you go unfollow you, unsubscribe, and they gonna stop giving you money and donating. So you start getting used to that little funds, Cash App, or GoFundMe, that's gonna stop. That's why you can't let YouTube be your main source of income. Because as quick as they build you up, then the same motherfuckers will tear you down. Kind of like what True Media's been saying on his network about people in general. She's moved out here, out west. Now her car's broke down. She was in a hotel, the last video I watched. Naturally, she don't have enough money to stay in a hotel every night because, like she said, it's draining her pocket to stay in a hotel with her and her son. Where I have the problem is going out west, not knowing if your car was going to make it, which it did not. It stopped in Arizona. Her daughter lives in Arizona, so I guess she'll probably visit with the daughter, whatever. And I think that daughter now wants to move back to Arkansas. Do you see how the tables are turning? Was that a good move to go to California without a said job in tow, not knowing if your car was going to make it? You don't know if you're really going to be able to stay with your father, because if he's living in an elderly complex that's probably hood ran, come on with it, Queen Preach. How long do you think it's going to be before somebody go run their mouth and say you living in there with your grown-ass son? Because older people are nosy and they talk. And they will surely go back and tell the management, he's here from Arkansas and her son's staying in there. They ain't supposed to be there. Why in the world would you go way out there to live when people from California are trying to move here to the South? Because it's cheaper to live. They done stacked up their money. They are moving to Nashville, Knoxville, Rome, Blunt, all these little small counties because it's easier living here in the South. Do you understand? They're not moving to Tennessee and these little small places because it's a lot going on. Ain't shit going on here. Ain't shit going on here. It's just quieter, cheaper. You now have left the South to go to one of the most expensive states in the union with a car that has stopped running, limited money, don't know how much she actually got, and no fucking job. I don't think that was a good idea. I'm not saying she can't make it in California. I'm not saying God ain't paving the way, but I'm saying I would have done more careful planning before trekking it into the desert, where that's why the car probably overheated, because like she said, she was driving in the desert. It got hot or whatever was wrong with it. Now you got to wait and see what the estimate is. Oh, Queen saw the estimate. Over $2,000 plus, if I ain't mistaken, for this, and this. And you know they're going to tell you, you need this, you need this, you need this. But you'll probably go ahead and pay it because you want that fucking car to make it to California from Arizona. Could some of those things probably wait? Probably. Could they be making up some shit? Probably. She don't know. Icon came on, engine light, so she took it to get it checked. I wouldn't have moved, me personally. Let me talk to you for a second. And this is piggybacking off the young black boy sleeping in the storage unit. And listen good. When you become homeless, because she had a failed marriage that got her in this mess in the first place, don't know what happened between her, she and her husband, but he left her and her son. And he went and stayed with his fucking mama. And now she's having to fend for herself and this child. Don't know which direction to go in. When you become homeless, the first thing you don't do is put yourself in a situation to get homeless again or worse. You have got to think. And yes, she's had health problems, not feeling good, dizzy, she's got a little weight on her. You got to think first. Because this is when worse things will happen because your back is up against the wall. You're stressed because you're out in the heat. You're doing live videos. You're worried about your money. You're worried about your son. What to do with him, this and that. What kind of life is this for him to be uprooted across the country, sleeping in a car? He's left behind his friends, all the people he knows. So I would have thought about that. Do I really want to drag my son across the country to a new place that he's not familiar with and, used to the people? When he's used to the people in Arkansas, I would have stayed in Arkansas. That's what I would have done. I would have stayed in Arkansas until he got grown, which 1 year shy, he'd be 18, he can do whatever he wants to do. But we don't even know what type of 17-year-old he is, so y'all got to think about that too. I would have stayed back in Arkansas, or I would have found a neighboring state, such as Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, something like that, where the price of living ain't so high. And now with Trump wanting to cut funds to HUD and rental assistance, you should be networking now to get all the help you can get, because this motherfucker is trying to starve and put the poor folks in the street. And now you want to go move way across the country where millionaires live. Wildfires, mudslides. Did you hear what I said? Why? That's my opinion. Now, she was going to California and they already had a salary job waiting for her. Bonus for her to put in her pocket until she can, put the down payment on a rental or something. That'd be different. That would be different. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Terry. But you understand what I'm saying? That would be different. You already got something lined up. The only thing lined up is an elderly man in probably a rental assistance apartment. I don't know his situation. I ain't really got deep down in her commentary. But let's just say he's living in rental assistance or just a regular apartment paying rent. It's only a matter of time somebody gonna go back and say something about her and her son staying with him. And then he'll be sitting in the hot seat with his landlord. Do y'all follow where I'm going with this? Why go somewhere else to rock the boat at this person's house? So they could be looking like how the fuck you looking right now. Homeless. Keeping it real. You don't make your situation worse when you already down. So let me tell you this. When you finally get you a place to live, if you are homeless now, and you get you somewhere to stay, do your best to keep that place. Even if it ain't where you want to be, you don't like it, you start seeing shit you don't like, don't wild out, don't do this. Because Queen, she don't like shit, she will tell it. And you got to be very careful what you complain about. Because guess what? Complaining can get you out of a place too. Next thing you know, they don't want to renew your lease. Stay woke. But you have a right to voice your opinion so long as rent's being paid. That's your God-given right. But it can cost you too. So I'm just giving you a little bit of knowledge. When you finally get a place, do your best to stay in it. You got somewhere better to go next. You give a 30-day notice. You leave the apartment the way they gave it to you so you can get your damn deposit back, and then you get on to the next place. This young lady is not thinking properly, in my opinion. I would have never left Arkansas. Because you've lived in Arkansas for a while, you've learned the demographics of that state. You know how they navigate. Every town ain't gonna be quite the same, of course, but you got the gist of the puzzle. That's what I'm saying. I would have never left. I'd have went from one county to the next, town to the next, to see what they offer. I would have been online checking to see who had rental assistance available. A lot of places probably don't, because we have a lot of people needing a place to live. We have a lot of homeless people. You have a lot of people that's just been evicted. You have a lot of young people with children. You have a lot of young people out here living on their own. When you topple all of that, this is the reason why there's nowhere for a lot of people to live. Because one, we got too many people needing housing. Number two, we don't have enough housing. Number three, the rise of costs. And then the flip side is, even if you get a voucher, a lot of landlords don't want them because people mistreat their properties. And I get that. Just like this bullshit with Trump and the 2-year voucher situation. In 2 years, voucher holders will have to pay market rent. Okay, well, now they're saying, well, some of these landlords, they ain't gonna want to rent to nobody. Well, they ain't going to rent to people with vouchers anyway, for what I just said, because a lot of people turn up their shit. So now they're looking at, 2-year mark. Voucher holders going to have to pay the full amount. Are my tenants going to be able to pay me the full amount in 2 years when Trump cuts off the voucher? And what did I tell somebody recently? Ain't no need in moving nowhere else because your landlord says, I'm raising the rent. You might as well stay and try to pay it. Because you get ready to go back in the hole by moving out. You got to now find somewhere else, come up with a deposit, and start the process all over again. And you may not be so lucky next time. So if your rent goes up an extra 100, 200, 300, you might as well just stay. And I know some people may say, well, Queen, that ain't no good idea. Well, do you want to leave that place and go out here and try to find something cheaper when the rent's already going up globally? How would that make any sense? Rent is going up. So you leave a place you already familiar with and you like, you are now back in the abyss trying to find something new. And you may not be lucky. So where you gonna stay? While you out here trying to find somewhere to live? In your car with your mama, your friend? How long you think that's gonna last? Stay where you are and find you something extra to do to supplement the difference of the rent amounts. Don't move out. Sign the lease any damn way. Because once you get the notice from the landlord, hey, we're going up $200, $300, $75, whatever. Sign that damn lease anyway. And now go out here and market yourself to find something else to do. You got to get a second job, third job. That's what you got to do. You got to get a side hustle, picking up cans, picking up aluminum, picking up metal. You got to pick up truck. Do what you got to do. But what you want to do is keep yourself from being homeless. That's my point. And when you have children, you can't think for yourself. You have another parties to think about. That's sad to see a person sleeping in a storage unit. A young man. Like I said, I don't know his story. Don't know if he did something to put himself in that storage unit. The point is he's there. And he wants better for himself, so he says. So what he needs to do is on his off days, go find him a higher paying job. Because I think we already know you're not going to have anything working at fast food. That's it. Yep, your mama got a bad attitude. Let me show you. See how you get Satan come in your chat with the nonsense? I'm speaking cutthroat knowledge. You got to do what you got to do to survive. I'm not here to sugarcoat and coddle nobody. This is not a channel for ABC. You need to go find somebody else to watch, okay? This grown folks talk. This is about survival. Not what sounds good. See that idiot that was in here? They will lead her into the abyss. Somebody that will sell up wooden nickels. I'm not here to sell you wooden nickels. I'm trying to keep you afloat so you don't be ending up eating out of a damn garbage can with your child. You got to think about your child. You homeless with a child, you can't think for you. You got to think about your child. You got to think what's best for your child. Although he's almost grown, he's still a minor. And we don't know what he's been taught and how she's reared him. Has she made good decisions since rearing her children? See, she has other children too. So you got to think about all of that. Because see, I don't really know her. She seems green to me. Not trying to be rude. But to me, she seems a bit green to me. Because I would have never left the South to go out west. I live in the South, so I can speak for it. I'm not getting ready to go live in California, Arizona. For what? If I had something better there that I know is set in stone, that would be different. But I don't. So I ain't trying to make my way over there. And most of you know I was raised up north. So right now, could I go back up north to live? If I wanted to. But do I want to? I don't. Because I'm comfortable here in the South. I like the way we navigate to some degree. Do you understand? We don't have a lot of entertainment. We don't have a lot of things happening like Chicago, New York. But I'm not getting ready to forfeit what's comfortable for the nightlife. I will not. I don't want to park on the curb. I don't want to have to drive around the block waiting on somebody to go into business to take care of something because you ain't got no parking. That's what it's like living in the city. Off-street parking. You go to somebody's house, apartment building, you are not guaranteed to park in front of their building, their house, because there's nowhere to park. Here in the South, we have driveways, and the apartments have a whole parking lot for you to park your damn car. Do you see where I'm going? You're not going to get that up north, East Coast, because the way the homes are set up, it's not designed like that. You have to go to somebody with a big boy house in this state that's got a whole private driveway. Most people live in the city, their houses sit off the curb. Checkmate. See, it's all about what you can tolerate. Cold weather, bad weather, you ate, you got a lot of pains, you got faulty leg, knees. Chicago, New York is not for you. One fall, you now have a broken leg, broken hip. You got to be able to heal. You also got to be able to walk back outside to shop, go places. Now you got to worry about falling again. Hell no. See, I think logistically, not aesthetically. And this is why a lot of people end up homeless, because they think of aesthetics. Oh, it's got a lot to do. Oh, they got a nightlife. Oh, they got this. They got entertainment. They got plays and Broadway shows. Okay. Can you afford all that? Can you afford the rent, the mortgage up north, out west? Do you know how much eggs cost out west? You like eating eggs and omelets? Do you know how much a carton of eggs costs in California? Well, you might need to know that before you run out there. You want to pay $15 for eggs, $16 for tax. For a carton of eggs, I'm just saying. Knowledge is king. And sometimes you got to use common sense over what you want, over what sounds good. Jumping up and running across the country, that's for somebody young. Quite frankly, young and dumb. Because we don't live in that era anymore, or just hop on a bus or train and finding out when you get there. That shit went out the window over 20 years ago. We don't live in that type of world anymore. Because that's why we have a lot of people right now who are homeless, who are dead, because they fucked around and found out. And we don't live in that type of world anymore. where you can just jump up on a plane train and just land in a city with a duffel bag and hope you make it. It costs too much now to do that. And many people have done it due to their circumstances. Hey, let me go run over here, catch a plane, train. I'm gonna go move to Cali, Philadelphia, and you get there, now you don't know where you're gonna sleep. Does that make any sense? To go from somewhere you are used to and you're destitute versus going to the unknown where it's colder, harder to live, more expensive to sleep on the street. Help me understand, because that don't make no damn sense to me. Have we all done it? Most of us have. Yeah, we took a chance. We went and stayed somewhere. And let me tell you, I'm speaking from experience. I did it once. Oh, I'm going to go up here and stay with a friend. Woo, woo, woo. See how it worked? It didn't work. Went over to Chicago from Detroit. Chicago didn't work out either. Had a job, wasn't making no money, barely living. I said, fuck this. I'm going back to Tennessee. And that was in 1997. And I have not moved anywhere else out of the state of Tennessee since 97. Because I made a vow to myself. Hell will freeze over before I will ever go stay with another human being and pack up all my stuff or sell my stuff to go sleep in your house. I don't care if it's a cot, a spare bedroom, a sofa. Hell no. Thank you, sweetheart. Hello, Reclaim. That's my advice to you. You better know what you're getting yourself into, and you're not going to know. That's the luck of the draw. You are gambling with your safety to just roll the dice and say, oh, pack up a bag and go move to Toledo, Ohio, and stay with people who you think your friends, your family, and you get there and you get hoodwinked and bamboozled. Now they want everything you got. They want your money, your paycheck. They want your time. God forbid you got a car. They're using you like you're a fucking Uber. You better wake up. People are not your friends. And this is why a lot of people are destitute now, broke now, homeless now, because they fucked around and found out the hard way. Save yourself that misery and sit where you are and make a plan. Hey, here's my 1-year plan, 2-year plan. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to save my money. I'm going to try to do this, this, and this. When I get in a better place, then I will make a move to Charlotte, New York, Los Angeles, wherever. But that running from place to place, no. Now, like I said, this lady could do well in California. But as of the other day, watching her video, she's stranded in Arizona. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Because she took a car that was not ready to ride the pavement in 100 and something degree temperatures. And yes, your car will probably overheat when it is not used to traveling hour for hour in the desert. And imagine had she got stranded. Imagine had she got stranded out there in the desert in the night. Does she have AAA? Don't know. Her and her son sitting out in the desert alone. Hey, Ryder. See, ain't nobody thinking about that. She probably wasn't thinking about that. I'm just excited to get to where I'm going. I get to see my daddy. I get to get out here with my family. You got to get there first. You out here in the middle of nowhere with your son. Do you know what type of people are out here looking for a victim to? And you black? In places where black folks ain't even living. I'm woke. You ripe for the taking. Ain't no black folks living out in no desert. Do you know people get up every day to go out here to find people to hunt? Yeah, I gotta keep this shit real. That's why we got folks missing. Because they did this. Oh, I'm going to California without a plan. Now you stranded somewhere and got to rely on a kind stranger. Well, everybody's not kind. Now imagine had she met the wrong person out there stranded in the middle of the nowhere with her son. Bunch of fucking hillbillies. Hey, we'll take you back to the garage and get your start. I'll look under your car. Tow her out in the middle of somewhere and drop her and her fucking son off in a quarry somewhere. I'm woke. And anybody can come in here and say, oh, you being negative. No, I'm not being negative. I'm being real. How many people you think went missing after getting stranded somewhere? You don't know what happened because they ain't here to tell us. They ain't here to tell us that car broke down and they got in somebody's car or let somebody tow that car. It's serious out here. You have to be careful. You have to have a plan. And it's not to say that even with a plan that things cannot go bump in the night. But what I think will be sad, this lady gets to California and she don't fare well because in the end, she still got to find a job. Even she stays with the father, her and her son, she's got to find a job. She's going to have to find a well-paying job to take care of her and her son. If rent is high here in Tennessee, they want $1,100, $1,300 for a one-bedroom. What you think you getting ready to pay out there for a two-bedroom? Baby, you getting ready to pay about $3,000. You gotta pay a light bill, phone bills for you and your kid. You gotta buy groceries. You gotta make sure that car is still running. Don't know if you owe a note on it. Car insurance. God forbid you gotta pay water where you live, because some apartments make you pay water, trash fee. That's in with your light bill. Come on, Queen, preach. Voila, magic. And now you looking at your check saying, damn, I ain't got no extra money. California. You pay $3,000 in rent. Do you know you need to make at least 4 times that in your salary? Are there poor people living in California? Of course. But they're probably getting some type of assistance or they live with other people and they're splitting the rent. She ain't got nobody to split nothing with unless she asks her son to get a job while he lives with her. He's a growing boy. He's going to eat more. He's got to have clothes, shoes. Is she going to make him work? See, you got to ask all those questions. If she was married to her husband for some time, I'll be suing that red boy for alimony. You damn right. You gonna leave me, and I got a child to take care of, and you gonna go moving your mama while me and my son are sleeping in my car? Oh, hell no. I'm taking your ass to court. See, that's why she should have stayed back in Arkansas, because I would have took that husband to court and sued him for alimony. Now, I don't know what happened to all her things with her husband because I ain't watched her content that long. Because I was wondering, where's the furniture? Where's all your clothes? That's another thing I'm trying to figure out too. Why she riding down the highway in this little SUV? Where are all your clothes at? In storage? So now imagine you paying a storage building. Ain't nobody listening to what Queen's saying. And I'm talking to myself. Do you have a storage unit, man, with all your things and your son's things in it? You got to, because y'all ain't carrying them around in that little SUV. So that means you paying now another due bill with your stuff in it. How you gonna get your stuff now from Arkansas out to California if you make it to California? Now you gotta pay a U-Haul. Ain't nobody listening. You will have to now pay for a U-Haul to go back to Arkansas halfway across the country to pick up what you got that's valuable and haul it now back to California. What this young boy said in that video of sleeping in that storage unit, he said fall will be here soon. Because he was looking up at the sky, talking about how pretty it was. The sky was pink. I said, see, he can appreciate something even in the worst of his circumstances. But like he said, it's going to be getting cool eventually. Exactly. Summer is moving along. And who want to be living in a storage unit even in the winter? What's the difference? He's got concrete and metal. Hell yeah, you know he needs some air conditioning up and out. And I'd be afraid to be in that storage unit because you don't know who's walking around at night, because he gave an experience of that, bumping into some dude walking around, lifting up his thing, gate or whatever. See, somebody might rent a storage unit so they can see if somebody's staying in there, take advantage of them. I don't trust nobody. Might be looking for a gate to be open where a person didn't lock it. They can rob them. I'm woke. You got to be careful out here. Just like she traveling the world with her son, you're a moving target. You a moving target in Arkansas, sleeping in that truck. And sometimes she had a son there, but fortunately, there were times the son stayed with her other daughter. And that was a story I didn't understand either. About the homeowners association would know that she had people in her house. How the homeowners association gonna know you staying in your daughter's house? They got binoculars looking through the window? Hell no. I wouldn't live nowhere where somebody gonna tell me, oh, I see a car been parked there more than 5 days. You gonna have to register it. No, I ain't gotta register shit. I pay the due bill and I pay the bank for this house. Do you wanna pay the note? You ain't gonna tell me who the fuck can park in my damn driveway. That was crazy when I heard her mention that during the live. She said, oh, yeah, I can't stay with my daughter, me and my son, because the homeowners association said she can't have so many visitors or something. I was like, huh? And don't make me start talking about the homeowners association. That's a whole nother topic I want to jump on one day too. Ain't nobody gonna tell me who the hell can be in my house. Hey, Jess. Who can stay there? What color curtains to hang? How the flag can be on the pole? You gonna pay a mortgage, house insurance, taxes on your house, and a homeowners association for somebody to tell you how the fuck to live in your house. Lord have mercy, I done jumped off the subject. God forgive me. It's crazy. This is the world that we in. Greed. I'm an hour and 23 minutes. I'm not gonna hold you all. I done ran it enough. Today's topic was about a preacher who is no longer associate preacher at a Baptist hospital, left his little small child in a parking lot across the street from a restaurant bar while he went in there and got crunk drunk. Officers go on the scene after somebody spotted the child in the car, called them, and they said he was drunk. I think he had a $500 bond. He's out on bond. He's no longer working with the church. Don't know his circumstances. Don't know why he was drinking. Don't know if he's an alcoholic. Father of 2 children. Don't know the relative that came and got the child from CPS. Don't know his circumstances, but it's effed up. And I won't doubt that he's done it before. And DHS needs to do a thorough investigation of he and his wife, because I'm sure there's more to the story. Second part of the story. Black woman, Canton, Ohio. 10 days in jail for her children not going to school. 6, 7, and 13. One of the children, 200 so hours missed from school. Should you be thrown in jail because your child didn't go to school? We gonna see. Take the poll on my community page. Check out my shorts. I uploaded some shorts today pertaining to the national government and the hood. Todd Chrisley, that's a whole nother subject. 2 hours ago, 21 people voted. Should a parent go to jail for not sending their enrolled children to school? 62% yes, 29% said no, 10% of you are not sure. Who are the 29% that said no, you shouldn't go to jail? Also, check out True Media. I watched one of his videos today called "This is one of the weakest generations ever. Everybody fake as fuck. Bring back realness." I like this young fellow. I like his commentary. I like what he has to say about people in general and the world. Check out his channel, True Media. It's got some good content. 62% of you said she should have went to jail. I say yes. It doesn't mean she's going to learn like any crime. Some people, you can't teach them anything, okay? Old dog, new dog. They don't care. But what she has to understand is that you enrolled those children into school, so you have an obligation to your children to ensure that they are educated. That's on you. That is her obligation, to make sure her children get an education. Because as I said in this case as well, who the hell knows what was going on in Miss Diamond Street's apartment home? And that's a hell of a name she got, Diamond Street. Shut your mouth. But she ain't no diamond. I said that. I don't know if they fed, water, heat, air, clothes, running around. I don't know if she's on drugs, alcohol, but why she can't get up and put her kids on the school bus or walk them to school, whatever. Does she work, have a job, go to school? Don't know. Baby daddy there, boyfriend, lover, friend, girlfriend, don't know. I know she got a mug shot. I do know that. Now, somebody will come in and say, well, Queen, who kept her kids while she was in jail for 10 days? How's that helping? I don't know. Go ask her. The point is, she gonna have problems, period. You ain't got your kids in school. What do you think is gonna happen to children at 6 and 7, 13, who are not going to school? I'll wait. You think they're gonna have a happily ever after? Hell no. Ain't no happily ever after you don't go to school. You're gonna be running the streets. You're gonna be eating Doritos and Cheetos for breakfast and doing whatever the hell you want, and God knows what else you might be getting into in your house, depending on what's in your house. You're gonna fall by the wayside. And say, oh, she in jail, who gonna take care of her children? Who taking care of them while she laying up sleep? See, you don't even know she even sleeping in the same house with her children. You ain't think about that, did you? You assuming she in the house and the kids are in the house and the kids ain't going to school. How she could be staying in somebody else's damn house. Remember I brought you the story from Detroit? Or was it Detroit? The woman was or outside of Detroit, Michigan. She wasn't even staying in the house with her children. Her children were staying in a fecal-filled house with boo-boo all over the place. No running water, no nothing. Pizza boxes everywhere. They sleeping on pizza boxes. And they weren't in school. They weren't fed, clothed, nothing. Gotcha. That's why you can't assume nothing. Because you don't know people. Number 3, black boy, young man, sleeping in a storage unit. Because that's our new America. People are homeless. Many people have been evicted because they could not afford the rent where they were staying or didn't pay the rent, whatever the situation was, now they're destitute. Donald Trump is trying to cut off assistance after 2 years to voucher holders, meaning they will have to pay market rents if they can find a place. And as I said, many people live in market in subsidized housing. All of New York is subsidized housing. All them big brown buildings you see in Queens, the Bronx, that's subsidized housing. And those people have jobs. Ting, ting, ting. For those that think they know about government housing, welfare, because a lot of you speak on stuff you don't even know what you're talking about. Most of New York is government housing. So, Mr. Trump, why you gonna cut off the vouchers in 2 years to recipient holders? What you gonna do about all these skyboxes, apartment buildings where the elderly, handicapped, disabled live? You gonna tell them, oh, by the way, we're gonna make you pay market rent, whatever it is, $910, $930 a month, but you only draw $700 in a disability check. You only draw $900 in a Social Security check. Anybody listening? Because what's the difference between the voucher holders versus the people who live in subsidized housing? It's the same damn thing. Assistance is assistance. You have to pay 33% of your income to the HUD agency. Okay? For those who don't know how it works. So if you're going to cut off the voucher holders and say, oh, in 2 years you got to go out here and pay market rent somewhere, then what are you going to do about the people who live in subsidized housing? It's the same thing. They're paying their 33%. You go down and say what? Oh, you got to pay the 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 1600, whatever the value you want to put on an apartment. Let me make this very clear. If you think America is fucked up right now, let HUD cut off them vouchers after 2 years. Don't give out no more vouchers. And then mess with the people who live in subsidized housing, paying their 33% or below. You won't even be able to walk outside. Because you will be stepping over homeless people at your door. And you will have to watch your back because they will be robbing and stealing to eat, to survive. So how in the fuck is that making America great again? To have elderly people on respirators, oxygen tanks, can't walk, sleeping in the street because somebody with a big head said, we got to cut the budget, the deficit. Well, not helping the assistance, that's not helping America. I get it. You built them tall buildings a long time ago to help the poor, and it got out of control. They became ungrateful. I get it. So you tore the buildings down as time went along. But look at the world. Even with all them skyboxes torn down from Chicago, Cabrini Green, in St. Louis, you still got crime. You still got drug addicts, drug dealers. Come on, Queen, preach. What did you solve? A lot of women, men don't get welfare checks because of the strict criteria of how long you can get a welfare check. It ain't no money for them smart motherfuckers that think they know everything. State of Tennessee is what, $142 or $148? What can you do with that? You get more in food stamps for one child versus $142. Now, somebody who thought they knew everything sitting back looking like a damn fool, that's all they get in welfare for one baby? It's $142. Did you say something? Did you say something? $142. Most of you spend that in 2 days eating out in Starbucks coffee. Say it again, Quay. You get more in food stamps than you get in actual cash. So when you get the sitting up downing people for a check, you don't even really know how much they're actually getting because you think you know every damn thing. You can't do that with $142, baby. You're going to have a whole lot of babies and multiply times the 142 to say, oh, they're taking the check and blowing it on Nikes and getting their nails done and hair done. And in some states, there's a cutoff. After a certain amount of kids, you don't get no more money. And common sense will tell you they're not living in market rate housing because you're not drawing enough in welfare cash to pay rent. Where did somebody have an apartment for $100? $142 for one child has been around since the 90s that I last remember. So where was somebody living in a 2-bedroom at $100 a month? Nowhere. Knowledge is king. Think before speaking. You don't know something, don't speak on it. We know we have a deficit. We know there's fraud in government, state, local, all the way up to the White House. We know this. We know there's frivolous spending, unnecessary spending. But putting people in a position to be homeless doesn't make any sense. You saying, well, we want you to get to the point where you can sustain yourself. First of all, you got to understand that everybody is not going to have the mental fortitude to go out here and work a salary job. If you don't have an education of maybe a fourth grader, you expect a fourth grade person with an education of a fourth grader to go out here and command a salary of an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer. Does that make any sense to you? If the person can barely read, barely count, what job title do you think they're going to go get that's going to make them at least $60,000, $70,000 a year to take care of himself, herself, God forbid, a child? I'll wait. A lot of people are mentally inept to work, number one, a salary job, a scholastic type job, such as doctor, lawyer, engineer, scientist, accountant, business-oriented positions. You have a fourth grade education, you probably won't be able to do that type of work. So that leaves what I call manual labor, which does not pay anything unless you're doing maybe construction, welding, truck driving, that type of work, delivery service. You still got to be able to read and write. You have to be able to follow directions. So when we say, go get a job, you'll be all right. Well, that's not true. Because there are a lot of people who have jobs and they are not happy, they are stressed, they are sick, and they do not make any money. As you heard the young guy staying in the storage unit saying, I work fast food, I'm not getting enough hours, I've got to figure a way out of this. Having a job does not guarantee anything, as you have seen with what has been happening in America. The government cutting jobs in Washington, D.C., government workers, Now they're pissed off because they don't have a job or limited hours or had to go back into the office to work when they've gotten comfortable staying at home. You're entitled to your opinion about that. But the point is, when you are used to having a job, a decent job and a decent pay, and now somebody's telling you, oh, we're cutting, we're trying to save the deficit, blah, 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 whatever, cure the deficit. You're just thinking about yourself. Your house burned up in the wildfires. Well, you're trying to figure out how you're going to get another home. Belongings. Maybe your job burned up out there in California back in the winter. See where I'm going? Nothing is forever. Flood. Tennessee, North Carolina, same thing. Businesses flooded, Tennessee, Asheville, North Carolina, rural North Carolina. There's no homes, there's no jobs. Now what? Nothing is forever. That's the point. So it don't matter if you're educated, you have some savings, uneducated, can't read, can't write, can't count. Bad things happen. Flood, fire, earthquakes, sickness, company closes, you get fired, you get laid off. Shit happens. What do you do? And that's what most people are not prepared for, is the what if. And right now, it looks bad out here. I've been watching videos for the past couple weeks pertaining to homelessness in America, California, Skid Row. They're trying to clean up downtown LA. They should have never let it get like that in the first place. So I blame the city of Los Angeles. You didn't have no business letting those people sleep out there on the street, a public street and sidewalk. That's stupid. Now you want to clean it up. Now these homeless organizations are arguing about these people things, and you're supposed to offer them a place to stay in exchange for cleaning up their encampment. See, the city was wrong for allowing the people to sleep on the street in the first place. You don't let people sleep on a public street. That's dumb. And the people in the neighborhoods, they're not going to allow the people to camp out on their street, their driveway. It's the same thing. Because what did I just say? There are no guarantees. Homelessness, same thing. A lot of people don't know that there are many people who don't want a place to live. If you talk to a lot of these people in these interviews, you hear their commentary, they don't want a place. Because they'll tell you, I don't want to be responsible for paying a light bill, water, gas, the rent at 33%. Come on with it, Quay. I don't want to be responsible. I ain't been doing it. I got a substance abuse problem. I got a mental problem. I got an obligation problem. I don't want to stay in a shelter. I don't want to stay in a halfway house. I don't want to stay in a place where they're going to have rules and a curfew. I'm out here homeless. I can roam as I see fit. I can panhandle. I can beg. I can sleep. I can drink. I can get high. I can do me. That is their choice. And the one thing I've learned about homeless people, many, I'm going to say it, when they get a place, they do not know how to sustain it. For why I'm speaking the things I'm saying now. Because they're not used to being obligated. You're trying to teach an old dog new tricks, and it rarely works because this right here is gone. They have decided up here, I don't want to be obligated. So even if they say, oh, I want a place to live, I'll take whatever you give me, that's just easier said than done. Once you get in the place, well, you got to keep it clean. You got to wash your clothes. You got to wash your hair. You can't litter, can't lotter, can't have every Tom, Dick, and Harry running in and out. You can't be using drugs, selling drugs, and that's where your problem comes in. Because a lot of people who are homeless, they're substance abusers, users. And when they get in this little alcove, they don't know how to maintain it because they never had to be responsible. And that's what people need to understand about homelessness. A lot of people don't want a place. Now, a part of this LA initiative is supposed to be, before they tear down your encampment, they tell you, hey, we got a place to take you. You either accept it or you don't. You don't have to accept the place. But as I just said, a lot of people get in a space, they don't know how to navigate because they're not used to being responsible. And I don't know that you can teach a grown person how to be responsible. Some maybe, but not all. Just saying. We're in dire straits right now. And I feel sorry for anybody who is being evicted, facing eviction. They didn't intend to get evicted, whatever the reasons are. And they have nowhere to go. I feel bad for you. I really do. And there is not enough housing. I live in a small city here in Tennessee, and the housing that they're building is for people with salary jobs. Or it's affiliated with the University of Tennessee for the students. You are SHIT out of luck. You ain't a student or you don't have a salary job, I'm just saying. Because it is not going to be no $700, $800 one bedroom. You already know, that's out the window. It's probably going to be $1,100 and up and more for a one bedroom. It's bad out here. I'm surrounded by little bitty counties, and there is nowhere for the people to live in Roane County, Blount County, Anderson County, and Knox County. So if there's nowhere to live in those little bitty counties, and they're coming into the city thinking they're going to find them somewhere to live, they are sorely mistaken, because we don't have places even in Knoxville for people to live. Just as quick as they put up an apartment building, whether it's got an income guideline or not, it's full, filled, and they even have wait lists. Landlords, some of them are crummy, nasty, don't want to fix nothing, repair nothing, don't want to put nothing new in the houses or apartments, but they want that deposit and they want that rent money. Two, a lot of them are not going to be accepting vouchers, especially with this new Trump situation of the 2-year itch. What's the point? I'm not getting ready to sign them up to live here. Then I got to worry about in 2 years, their voucher gets gone and they can't pay the other portion of the rent. I'll just rent to somebody who can pay the entire rent. It's bad. Hey, Driller. I know a lot of people don't have anywhere to go. And it's not just major cities like New York, Philly, LA. Right here where I live, small population of people, the homeless number is growing by the minute. People are living with other people, relatives, friends, associates. They're staying in hotels. They're staying in shelters. Don't have a lot of shelters because they got to have guidelines they follow as far as, inspections, and it got to be up to code. Like they closed a church down months ago in the winter and told them the church couldn't have couldn't let the people stay there because it didn't meet the criteria of a dwelling. Oh, just a bunch of nonsense. trying to keep people from freezing to death. And here come the city. Oh, you gotta have this, and this. You know, it ain't like it was falling apart or nasty or nothing, but they had their criteria, the city of Knoxville. And there, the people had nowhere to stay after that. I don't want to be homeless. I don't care about where I live right now, because I don't like the way it's ran. I don't like the type of people that are allowed to live on the property, but I don't have any control over that. But I have to keep a roof over my head. So I have to just pray for my own safety, salvation, mental state. But you can best believe it. A queen gets her SHIT together, she's a goner. She's a goner. And I always say that even in your worst moment, when you're looking around at your surroundings and you don't like your house, your trailer, whatever it is, your condo, shed, barn, and you're praying to God and saying, God, get me out the situation. Please, I want to move in a better place, a better neighborhood. I want a better landlord, whatever. You see a story such as the young lady traveling across to the West Coast with her son, homeless, sleeping in her car. And now they're stranded in Arizona. You see the case of this young black guy living in a storage unit, working fast food. And you're saying to yourself, damn, I'm upset, complaining about this hole in the wall I'm in, and they ain't even got nowhere to sleep. And once again, like I've said, a lot of people fuck up where they live too. Because you know how we get upset seeing homeless people being on the street, panhandling, stealing, robbing, doing whatever they got to do to eat. We also have to remember that a lot of people who are homeless, just as well, put themselves there. They may not be on drugs, they may not be on alcohol, but they were troublemakers where they lived. They didn't want to pay their rent. They didn't want to pay their due bill for whatever reason. They might have been hellraisers, might have had neighbor issues, might have fought a neighbor, fought the landlord, cussed, damaged the property. See, you don't know. So when you see all those people standing in the eviction court and news people got their little camera and you're looking, oh my God, look at all those people. You also got to remember some of those people are troublemakers. See, there's a flip side to homelessness. Everybody that's homeless, we're not doing right. And that's why they're out there on the street or sleeping in their car, sleeping in their truck, because they don't like to follow the rules. So it's not always about substance abuse, mental illness. Some people just don't want to do right. They don't want to follow rules. And I live around people like that. They are hellraisers. They don't want nothing for themselves. So what you always have to remember, they don't want nothing for themselves. They're not going to want nothing for you. And they will take your ass down into the abyss because they're miserable as hell. And that's what's wrong with the world right now. Hellraisers. People who don't give a damn about nothing. So it don't matter if you're black, you're white, you're fat, you're tall, you're short, you're a foreigner. You don't want nothing for yourself. You walk around here mad at the world, you don't mind taking other folks down with you. And that, my dear, is what we're living with right now. Misery. Sheer misery. There are people out here who actually want more, want to do better, striving for greatness, but they're living in the midst of demons who don't want shit. And that's where we have our problems. That's my commentary. Follow True Media. It's a young black guy here on YouTube. He brings you the business. He brings you the business. He tells it just like it is. Kind of another version of Queen. He's just a male and younger. But he shoots straight from the hip, and he tells it like it is. That we are living in a dire society of people who are corrupt, people who don't care about themselves, so naturally they cannot care about you. Mean-spirited, rude, nasty, ugly, selfish. And we all can have those moments where we're selfish. We're rude, we're obnoxious, we're narcissistic. But there comes a time when we have to turn that off. You cannot be greedy every day. You cannot steal every day. You can't rob every day. You can't covet every day. You can't be lustful every day. Do you understand? You got to turn it off sometimes. Or you're going to fall by the wayside. Thank you for your time. Tomorrow we'll be having thyroid surgery. Prayers. I won't be on the network for a little while because of visual aesthetics. But I will jump back on when it's time. I cannot say if it'll be a week or two, but when the wound heals to where I feel safe to show myself, then I will be back on. So that is why I have done shorts yesterday, a live yesterday, today's live, and I did shorts before coming on as to have a little bit of content for the days that I won't be showing myself. Thank you. Yes, we have to be humble. So I thank you all for the kind donations to the network. Miss Terry, thank you so much. Thank you all for watching, tuning in. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you. As I said before, I've lost quite a few subscribers in the past week because of my commentary of Donald Trump. But my thing is, like I said, I'm not getting ready to change who I am. You either like me or you don't. You either like me or you don't. I shoot straight from the hip. I give you the business. You don't have to agree. You want to unsubscribe because you don't like something I said, that is fine. But I'm not going to change who I am, and I'm not going to pretend to like somebody that I don't like. I don't care for him. I don't care for him. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm a United States citizen, born here. And I have a right to voice my opinion. And just like that young guy said in his videos, that's what's wrong with everybody. Wanting attention and wanting to do and say anything for a like and a view, meaning you're not genuine. You want to get up here and act a donkey's ass for a like and a view. But you're possibly not being your true authentic self. And if you are, you don't mind being an ass. That's your choice. But I try to bring my true authentic self, flawed and all. You'd like to donate to this great network, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live. Thank you for the love and the support. Thank you, honey. Thank you. I'll probably try to go live right before they put the IV in, because they'll probably pick this old right hand. I might tell them do the left one, because let me tell you, them IVs hurt, baby. I'm just getting used to needles, just getting blood drawn. Ugh. They got that done a week ago. Girl did real good. Zoom, zoom, zoom. She was in and out. She was done. But the IV, no, baby, that sting, you can feel it. So I'm just going to be like, I don't look. That's my way of not passing out. I never look when they stick me in the arm or the IV. And I definitely don't want to look when she do it. And I'm going to tell her, I hope you know what you're doing, he or she. Stick me, put that cap on, and I want to be done. And then here comes the anesthesiologist. They like to talk to you. How you feeling? You okay? You comfortable? Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, he going to tell you to start counting. How you feeling? You're going to feel a little discomfort. Yeah, you're going to feel that. Excuse me. Some of you may have never been under anesthesia, so I'm telling you what it's like. You get the stuff, you get the stick. He's gonna be talking to you, and you're gonna feel a little something like something in your nose for just a quick second. You out. I've been through it before a few times. You are out. Soon as you get stuck with that needle and that IV, that's it. They'll be talking to you, and you're gonna be, oh, okay. And your eyes, you are gone, baby. You are gone. And then they put the little, the catheter in, because you're going to probably have to urinate, while they're, doing the surgery. Because I've noticed I'd wake up like every 2 hours using the bathroom, which is so horrible in the wee hours. But I got to go read my sheet because I've got a few things on there I'm not supposed to do. I followed everything up to protocol so far, as far as not taking the ibuprofen instead of amphetamine for 1 week. I wasn't supposed to take any of that. I have not. I thank God I haven't had no headaches. And then I ain't took nothing for pain or nothing for a whole week because I wasn't supposed to. And then I can't eat or drink anything after 12 midnight. And what else I'm not supposed to do? One of my meds I'm not supposed to take tomorrow morning. I think it's my blood pressure medicine. I think I can take the Levo, which is for my thyroid. But that paper said you can't take your blood pressure medicine. I thought, damn, you want me to go on the table with high blood pressure? Wasn't at the point of doing all my checks and all that to make sure I stay even killed. I was already irritable yesterday. Praying, God, calm down so you can have a good reading. When you go in, be calm. That's why I want to do these lives, get everything over with so I can rest the rest of tonight, go to bed early, get a good night's sleep, make sure I drink plenty of water, so I can have, good blood flow and everything in my veins, legs, and for the IV. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all tuning in, and pray for this journey tomorrow, because after the thyroid surgery, the next surgery I want to get is on my damn knee. Get one of them knocked down because I need knee surgery like ASAP. They're removing a nodule. They're removing the left side. The right is completely gone. Wait a minute. Which side are they moving? Yeah, I think it's the left side. The right side is completely gone. I have a nodule left here that has grown to a nice size, and they're taking the whole thing out. So I will have nothing in here, meaning I have to continue taking meds until I pass away. That's what was told to me. Thank you so much for following this network. I'm glad you all tuned in. I did not intend to go 2 hours, but Queen, I said I got to get out some stuff. I had a few things I wanted to rant about, and I'm glad you all were here to listen. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay blessed. I've got a good movie for you all to watch, baby. I stayed up late and I found this movie on the Roku channel, and honey, it is good. It's about some boys missing in a small town. And you have to decide what is really going on with the disappearances of these young boys. Who's involved? Somebody in the town? Supernatural? It's good. I did a bio on it, read up. It had twists, turns, it did. Because they had me going there for a minute. I thought, now, wait a minute, what am I watching? It's pretty good. I'm going to show it to the community page right after I finish this live, in case you all want to go ahead and watch it tonight. It's on the Roku channel. It's a very good movie. It's worth your time. All right, everybody, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you later. I know of a lady that had hers completely removed and had a great future. Oh, well, I plan on having a great future. I didn't know the thyroid controlled as many things as it does, because I didn't really have a lot of knowledge about the thyroid situation, but you need a thyroid. It helps with everything, moods, weight, all of that, because my weight fluctuates up and down. Past couple of weeks, I've been getting weighed. I've lost a few pounds, but the thyroid, it controls a lot. Little did I know. But that's the whole thing about life. You learn something new every day. But I just want this thing out of here. Maybe I can start feeling better, sleeping better, because it also affects your sleep. As most of you know, I'm a night owl. I do not get a lot of sleep. I got sleep stuff going on too. So it's just one thing after the other. You know, it's just the way it is. But I'm a child of God. I'm highly favored. I'm just glad to be here. It don't matter if I get mad today or get mad tomorrow. I'm glad to be alive. And I want to give God thanks and glory that despite it all, I'm here. And mainly, I'm not homeless. I'm not destitute. There are things I still want to accomplish and do and claim. I'm going to claim it on this live in case I don't wake up tomorrow, which I ain't claiming it, but I'm claiming it to God. I want to thank him for blessing me. He's brought me a mighty long way. And I want to thank him because somebody didn't get up this morning. Somebody had plans this morning and they didn't get up. Thank you for listening. Vault XL. Love you all. Bye. Bye, sweetheart.